Bass-TEC fans, what's going on, everybody? Hope everybody has been safe during this snowmageddon that was supposed to come in, and I actually did not. So we've got a great lineup going tonight with some great anglers. Honestly, you'll wind up seeing it in a minute. Some of the best men that's out there in the Jon Boat world. So like to take a moment and go through our sponsors, and I've actually got to modify our sponsorships a little bit through with our Hooked Up Live, so bear with me. Get over, check out Line Taming Serum. We'll be giving a gift certificate through for Line Taming Serum that can be redeemable through Line Taming Serum as well as Star Lures. All you have to do is get on here, like us, leave us a comment, not necessarily through this Facebook, but make sure get over to our YouTube channel if you're not watching it from our YouTube channel after the video's done, and leave us a comment and like the video. So we'll be giving away Line Taming Serum and Star Lures gift certificate redeemable of all of their amazing product lines. They have the Line Taming Serum, which helps for additives for fishing line, as well as a lot of lure products that they make. So get over, check them out. G2 Gemini jerseys. We'll be giving a percentage off. You don't have to like, comment for this part of it. Anybody that mentions when they go through G2 Gemini jersey for an order, all you have to do is enter in your discount code G2 Georgia spelled out 22, and you'll receive 25% off. Not 5, 10, 15, but 25% off any order with G2 Gemini jersey. So we appreciate the sponsorship through with them for our Hooked Up Lives. Dugout Bait and Tackle. Get down there, check them out. Say it each and every time. They have got wall-to-wall products. I don't know about y'all, but when I go down there, I feel like family. Walking in that store and the way those gentlemen treat you, very helpful always. And if they're not there to be able to help you, I'm sure there's even a lot of times you go in there's an angler or two usually in there that'll start giving some input. So great folks down there at Dugout Bait Tackle. Appreciate their sponsorship for the Hooked Up Live. Then we have Tiny Boat Nation Outdoors, and I'm going to see if I can get this correct or not. If not, go back into the comments. You can see through with the description of the videos, tbnation.net. Go through there. Any order, all you have to do is enter in the code that's in the description. And I forgive me, I'm drawing a blank all of a sudden. So I think it's GATC. I think that's it. Go back to the description, double check it, and you can get 5% off any order. So if you're doing a custom boat build or you want to take and change your live wells or any products like that, 5% adds up. So get over and check them out, tinyboatnationoutdoors.net. And our last but not least, sponsorship with Underground Power. They are a lithium battery company that has stepped up in a large way through with us. If you haven't, got over, check out their social media page, their great product lines that they've got. We will be giving away, listen to this, if you didn't catch it on the first show, Underground Power is going to take and give away one battery, lithium battery, for our Hooked Up Lives. The stipulation that you have to do, each one of these lives that we do, you'll be entered in each individual time. Get on our YouTube channel after the live feed. Make sure it's not during the live feed. It has to be after the live feed. Enter in Underground Power and like us. And if you can, please share us, subscribe, so that way you can get all future content. And I was saying last but not least, I apologize. This is last but not least. Our most recent sponsor is PFD Fishing, Paddle, Fish, and Dominate. They have jumped on board with us. They are a custom rod and repair through with fishing rods. So if you're in the market of wanting to get a fishing rod, or if you've got that one that you've had back through, and I'm sure each and every one's can agree to this, one that's been a favorite and maybe some eyelets are messed up, get over and check them out. We'll be giving I'm trying to remember what we agreed upon for percentage. So bear with me 2 seconds. I've got it written down right here in my notes. And I want to say it's 20% off any order. So get over there on social media through Facebook page, PFD Fishing, and check them out. I'll make sure to edit this and enter in their website address, stuff like that. So that way you can get over and check them out. PFD Fishing, we appreciate their sponsorship through Hooked Up Lives. So with no further ado, I know everybody, I'm going to tell you right now before I bring them on screen, I want to see some comments tonight, guys, gals. Let's flood these gentlemen with some comments, questions that you might have. I like the interaction with the folks more so than just us winging it and talking. So by all means, feel free to fire away at any time. So no further ado, Xtreme Jon Boat Club's points champions for the year 2021. The best out there, I feel like, in Jon boat fishing by far. And I'm sure a lot of other guys agree. Dusty and James. Welcome, man.
Hey.
How y'all doing tonight?
Doing good.
Pretty good.
So just to let everybody know, I mean, we've been already going on talking already for like 30 minutes now, talking fishing.
Yep.
Your wives ready to take and slap you yet? Tired of you sitting there talking fishing so much?
No, luckily they all been gone.
They up and left. I hear you. That's awesome. So again, congratulations to both y'all for being the points champions in Xtreme Jon Boat Club. And I know it's to be a points champion at any of these clubs it's representing. It's a challenge and a feat in itself that y'all have done that. So congrats to both of y'all.
Thank you.
It wasn't easy.
So let's just start right there. You talking about things not being easy. What was y'all's most memorable moment looking back at the past season? What was y'all's most memorable moment within Xtreme Jon Boat last year? Turning point, whatever y'all both feel like.
Going in the point behind.
I mean, we had a couple of good moments. Rocky Mountain, we had a 28.25 pound sack that day on 5. Yeah, the very last tournament of the year, we went into it 1 point behind. David and Michael were actually 1 point ahead of us for the team of the year in hard labor, and we had a really good bag that day. And got us the points championship. We won the classic. So we've had some good moments last year.
What do you think, James? What would you say has kind of been the most memorable moment? Do you agree?
Yeah, probably. Last tournament of the year in the classic pretty much was probably the high points of the season for us. I think we 17 pounds on the final tournament, and then we ended up with over 20 pounds for 2 days total. 29 for a 2-day total on the classic.
So was there a moment during the season that did you have a fish that you lost that just is still haunting your dreams?
My 10 pounder at JW. That was in practice, so it didn't really matter for a tournament, but I want to catch a 10 pounder. Yeah, the TEC.
One that broke off at the TEC.
Yeah, he broke one off. I mean, the last hour on the TEC. It was we finished 4th, only 2 pounds out of first, and
it would have had us close.
It had been real close.
And y'all actually never even mentioned that. I don't. If you did, maybe my chaos of trying to get in the orchestration of everything.
No, we didn't mention it.
Man, I hate that. Because there was actually another club, and I ain't gonna say names to pour salt in the wounds, but there was another club same exact way that said they had one fish that would have put them to the point of winning the state championship. So there was multiple people now that I'm hearing.
I had one on and Dusty had one on at the same time, and it was kind of chaos trying to get the net, figuring out which one we was going to try the net first. And
we should have let mine go and then focused on his, but my hooked mine first. I had it almost to the boat, and he already had the net in one hand, his pole in the other hand, and it took off on his pole And he fought it, man. You fought it for what? Good 30 seconds before it
Yeah.
ever come off. He fought it for a minute. But it come up one time and we both seen it and we're heartbroken.
So have y'all done any like recent modifications, anything to the boats y'all fishing out of?
Nope.
We rebuilt it last year right before season started, and it's pretty much worked out pretty good since we rebuilt it.
I had no complaints out of it, and everything's worked perfect.
So I'm gonna put you on a spot for something. I have not even asked this, and just come up with this. None of this is pre-planned, staged, or nothing. Like we're all tonight just winging it. So I want to know, because I'm sure there's a lot of people probably tuning in tonight that is not familiar with the TEC, even probably what it stands for, Total Electric Championship. But in your own words, each one of y'all, if you don't mind, tell me, what does the TEC, Georgia Bass-TEC, mean to each one of y'all?
I mean, when you get talking about TEC, you think, it's probably, it's the biggest tournament of the year for what we do. You're fishing against the best guys from every club. So, I mean, it's like almost like North Georgia Jon Boat Classic for the year. And to me, everybody asks, if people start talking about it, I just tell everybody it's the state championship for us Jon Boat Anglers, really.
Yeah, that's about it. It's fishing against the best in the state, pretty much.
Yeah, we've actually tried reaching out through with some clubs in years past with South Georgia. Our furthest south club that we have that represents out of the 9 participating clubs, Mr. Jordan from Backwoods Bass Club. I want to say they're South Atlanta, probably closer to Macon almost. But there's nobody. There was 1 or 2 clubs in very, very southern part of Georgia at one point that wanted to get involved, but never really. I guess they probably dissolved when COVID and everything else probably come about. So, so if anybody's watching that has interest in joining up, make sure to send us a message, and we'll definitely start having some conversations. So, let's go forward into Juliet. Are y'all? That's where the 2022 April, was it 23rd? I believe it is. We'll be fishing at Lake Juliet for the 2022 Georgia Bass-TEC. So, have either one of y'all been to Juliet before?
Nope.
Never been there. Never seen it.
Never even fished it. So, I'm assuming you're having some plans to get out there and do some homework beforehand.
Oh, yeah. Always do.
And I'm sure you haven't even looked at Google Earth yet on it. Not at all.
Not even 100 times yet.
So I know Dusty's answer, obviously, from that. James, do you like spending a lot of time researching a lake, looking at it, Google Earth, historical imagery and stuff?
Yeah, I'll go back through and like read old articles on lakes and all, and see what time of the year they picked, what they was using, catching stuff like that. But it's me with the
that's his
fishing.
big. That's his big boat fishing lifestyle.
Yeah.
Ain't many articles on the lakes we fish.
Yeah, there's getting to be more of them about this lakes. GOM puts out a bunch of stuff about a bunch of these BFAs and stuff.
So I forgot to mention something. I want to back up to something. I should have introduced in a different way in the beginning, not to take spotlight away from you, Mr. Beckjordan, but Dusty is half reigning Georgia TEC state champion. So for those that didn't already know that, it's a half state champion that's here because it's a team tournament event. You and
I don't remember his name either.
Taylor Smith. Sorry.
EVD.
It's getting old and the gray hair. So I can blame COVID from last year in March. So brain fog.
He's easy to forget about.
Oh my gosh.
He texted me. He texted me when we went live and said, "I'm watching."
Oh, okay. So believe it or not,
Yeah.
that drawed him out of the crowd. Heard
I knew that was coming.
The dream team wasn't there. Oh man,
Mm.
that's oh. I'm sure that ain't gonna be the last comment, Taylor. If you got some dirt on them, come on now, start spilling it. Let's get some goods on it. But
don't encourage him. He might put some in there you don't want to put on that screen.
Oh man, but all joking aside, I mean, I know that's a feat in itself. I know when y'all went through that, it was life-changing memories of nobody will ever take it away from you. I know I could see it on your face, and I hope to see y'all both come back across the scales and come through for another victory. So I do want to pause for a quick moment and just folks that's just now maybe logging on to kind of rehear this again about being able to qualify through for tonight. We'll be doing each individual hooked up live. All you have to do, not during this live feed, but after the live feed, after it ends, get onto YouTube with Georgia Bass-TEC. Just type in GABASSTEC and look at this video feed and leave a comment. To be entered in for Underground Power is going to be giving away a free lithium battery. All you have to do is enter your name by typing it in there and saying Underground Power. That's all you have to type on it. Like the video. Please share it. Get it out there for folks to see, because somebody, after all these interviews are done, we're going to be doing a drawing from all the comments that's been entered. So we appreciate each and every one. Plus, we're going to be giving away some items as well from our great sponsors. So I'm back done again with that. So just want to remind everybody. So Juliet in spring. I can't remember if I've asked this before, but they're obviously in April. It could be a possibility of bed fishing. So are y'all comfortable bed fishing? Don't like doing it?
I've never even caught a fish off a bed. I'll be honest. I ain't never bed fished.
And we got a trip we got to make now. Won a state championship, but never bed fished. Oh my gosh. Is it just because you just never really spent the time doing it?
It seems like if every time I've tried to go, I'm like, they got to be on bed. I'll ride around the banks for hours looking. And I've found a couple here and there, but I've never hit it on the right time where they're loaded, where you got opportunity to cast at multiples in a day. It seems like I catch them at the wrong time, or they don't want to bite.
Oh, dude, you better keep your phone ready, because you're gonna be getting a call or a text and say load up.
Whenever I'm ready.
I mean, in my opinion, sight fishing like that, I haven't been on a boat yet with, I don't even want to say the P word because everybody talks the P word now, Panoptics. It's way better than Panoptics. You can physically lay out. It's just telling you. But it ain't for everybody. But so, Mr. Beckjordan, you had mentioned, I think, talking a minute ago about big lakes stuff. So are you in the past history fishing big lakes and come into the Jon Boat world later on, or?
No, my kids fish a bunch of high school tournaments, and we hit a bunch of the big lakes with Georgia Bass Nation High School and a couple other little leagues. We fished in Georgia High School athletics this year. But yeah, I spend a lot of time on big lakes, a lot more than I do on the small ones.
So they fish.
He's on kid number 3.
Yeah, I'm on kid number 3 going through these tournaments.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I mean, the way they've got it now set up, I mean, if I had the opportunity back when I was in school, I would have loved to have those chances to doing this.
Yeah, my youngest one had a chance of winning the state championship last year, and we blowed the motor up and kind of messed our chances up.
Oh my gosh. Where was I'm not familiar, where was the state championship held at for the high school?
This past year it was in Eufaula.
Eufaula. I have never fished Eufaula, but boy, when we go to Panama every time, I'm like, I'd love to fish that lake.
Yeah,
you like it? Is it mostly river ledges and stuff like that on it, or channels?
the grass used to be the big thing on that lake, fishing grass lines and stuff, but they went through last year and sprayed it right before we got in there for the state championship, and it killed a bunch of the grass off. They hurt that lake bad last year.
So, Mr. Jeff Reese, the A team. Is there a reason why you called the A team? Probably because y'all bring your A game every time, right?
You try to.
I hear you. So, folks, make sure if you got questions, fire them away. I mean, we're definitely sitting here ready to take and put them on the spot. And I know these men would be more than glad to answer any questions you might have. So, I don't know if, he says this because Jeffrey's saying because they are the best. I got you. I don't know if y'all like to talk about it or not. Do you have a particular style that y'all like to fish? Maybe you would like to throw out there, how you like to catch them? Top water, finessing, spooning, a-rig.
I'm a fisher.
He's a throw and go. He's usually screaming at me, hurry up, let's go. I'm more of, I'll throw my jig, throw a worm.
He'll beat one bush to death for 4 hours, and it drives me crazy.
So Taylor didn't have to. He just ain't gonna stop. Keep bringing it.
You can't stop him. You don't never shoot.
Unless you put him on Lake Carroll.
Lake Carroll. That's his favorite lake.
Lake Carroll. That's right.
He caught the smallest weighable fish I ever seen in my life on Lake Carroll. What was it, 0.64?
It was little.
All right, so Josh Griffith has a question. You have 4 fish in the box. It's 1:30, and I'm assuming probably weigh-ins at either 2 or 3. In case of emergency, break glass and tie on. What do you tie on?
If it's that bad, I'm tying on a trick worm. That's always been my go-to. If nothing else works, ever, I'm throwing a trick worm until it's over.
So do you like throwing it Texas rig or Carolina rig?
Texas rig.
Texas rig. Okay.
I'm more of an underspin.
Underspin 12 months out of the year?
I've caught them all year long on underspin.
Wow, man. Like, that's a first I've heard on that. That's cool. Thanks for sharing that, because that's, for me, like my partner, man, he loves throwing it beginning of the year, water temps colder and stuff like that. But that's cool. I like that. That's a good
won the classic for us.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Good question there, Josh. Appreciate that.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So Jason Brown, do you guys use live scope? And if so, has it had a great impact in your wins?
He uses live scope. I don't.
Yeah, I got live scope. I mean, it's been a big part of some wins, and it's been a big part of some defeats also. It just sometimes, man, that thing, I don't know. I'll follow fish around and be looking for fish, and I really need to put it down and go fish the way we always used to fish. And then I've had tournaments. Only reason we caught fish was because of Penoptics. So, I mean, it definitely helps, but
it's got its good days and it's got its bad days.
You got to learn how to not depend on it so much sometimes.
So has there been moments for the live scope that you've literally said, going into either pleasure fishing, tournament fishing, whatever, and said, I absolutely am not cutting it on?
No. The last tournament last year, we went, of course, I already said it, but we went into the last tournament second in points. We were 1 point behind David. And I told Becky on the way told James, call him Becky. I told him on the way to lake, I said, we're not fishing. So I'm not going to sit out here today and take a chance of ruining today by fishing just Penoptics. So we're going to focus more on the banks, the, points, stuff that, we always done before. And I definitely caught a couple fish on Penoptics that day. But, I mean, if I'd have fished with it the way I usually do, we'd have probably never caught the fish we caught the last day to win the points championship.
So I'm going to skip around on questions, come back to the other ones. But Eddie Williams asked, how big is your screen for the live scope?
I just got the 9-inch, the 93 SV.
And you've got two screens or just one screen up front?
I got two 93 SVs up front. One has my maps on it, and then my paint optics on the other one. And then if I want to run side imaging or anything else, I'll just run it on the bottom screen.
Gotcha. So this may be kind of a great questions. Y'all keep firing away. Appreciate the interaction tonight. So Ron was Mr. Pendergrass is saying, besides an A rig, what's y'all's go-to bait? And y'all might have already answered it, but if not, aside from the breaking glass moment, you got to do something. Just what's your go-to baits?
I'd say I usually start with the jig most time. He's gonna pick up a spinner bait or underspin.
Yeah. Spinner bait's probably my second favorite one to go to.
Something he can crank nonstop all day long.
So I don't know if from one spinnerbait enthusiast probably to another, it sounds like, Mr. Beckjordan. So what's like you've been, I don't know if you're willing to share it. If you don't, that's fine. You can just say no, and it'll be there and it'll be done. What's your all-time favorite? Like, that was the best spinnerbait ever made?
Believe it or not, probably the Strike King KVD Sexy Shad color. And it's the tournament grade one. I've caught a bunch of fish on it. It just, I don't know. It's like my most reliable one. I probably got 10 of them in the tackle box.
All in a pile.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm telling you, you may wind up getting off this live and say, "Dadgummit, I'll never get on it again." But like, you've struck a nerve on my interest because I love a spinnerbait. Are you a painted blade type guy? Do you like painting your blades, or do you
Not really. I like running two different color blades, a gold and a silver blade, and that's just depends on what time. I'll throw willow leaf most of the time, but I'll throw the bigger Colorado blades like when I want to slow it down and get it slowed up a little bit. Because I think we hit that night tournament on West Point.
Mm-hmm.
That's about the only decent fish we caught was on a black spinnerbait with a big Colorado blade on it. But,
you a trailer hook believer?
yes. I don't know. Fish just, I don't know. They like short striking on spinner baits. I've always run a trailer hook on it.
Most definitely. So, sorry, one spinnerbait enthusiast to another. So, Josh Griffiths wants to ask Dusty, what's your favorite jig trailer for cold water? ... for warm water. So, I assume he's wanting to know both cold and warm. What's your favorite jig trailer? Well, I thought you was about to pull in your pocket and pull out the trailer there for a moment.
I don't know. Cold water, I like something with the smaller kickers on it. Summertime, I usually like some of the big. I try to find some of the little bigger kickers, a little more action to it. Brands and all that, I've never really been a huge brand follower. I mean, whatever, I'll walk in, I don't care what brand it is, as long as it looks good and it's the color I want, I'll throw it on there.
So I've got a question to kind of, well, you did cold water. You can go ahead with warm. Sorry.
The warm water, I throw something, with a lot more action. In the summer months, something get more attention. Wintertime, it seems like they don't want it to have that much action. Something a little bit more gentle, or they don't want it, in my opinion.
So I've got a question. A lot of people you see do this. Are you a believer in cutting the hook guard for it some, the weed guard?
No.
Just leave it like it is.
However it come out of the package.
So I used to love throwing mop jigs, but I would not throw them unless I cut the front side of it, so that way.
I throw a lot of the finesse jigs, so the weed guards on them are not usually very strong, anyways. Now, full size jig, some of them are a little extreme. There'll be half an inch out past the hook, and maybe takes a damn 2x4 to bend them. Those I might thin them out a little bit and trim them a little bit, but I like the finesse. I throw a lot of finesse jigs.
That's cool. That's cool. Guys, I appreciate all the questions, comments that's coming through. Again, I'm going to kind of pause, keep firing them away. I'm going to reiterate it again for all of our sponsors. We appreciate them. We'll be taking and going through and giving away some items. All you have to do is like, comment, but also for the lithium battery giveaway, all you have to do is after this live feed, get over to the YouTube, on our YouTube channel, Georgia Bass-TEC, go into this video after the live feed and just type in underground power. You can even just do UP if you want to, acronym it, be fine with us. And then like the feed. So we appreciate any subscribers and shares of the video as well. So y'all keep firing out questions away. We appreciate all the questions we've gotten so far. So going into this event, I'm sure y'all going to do your homework down at Juliet. How do y'all feel going into the event? Do you feel anxious, comfortable? What are you thinking?
Lost right now.
Yeah, lost right now. Yeah. I don't know. Ask me that question in the morning of the tournament. Is if we get to pre-fish it, see if that goes decent or not. And I guess being this far out, at least you got time to think you can prepare. Whether it works out or not depends on how the days play when you actually show up. I've heard a lot about the lake. I've asked people that have fished there. And a lot of people say it's pretty much like fishing. You can fish the north end. I think it's north end. It's a little bit muddier, a little bit stained. Or you fish the south side of it. It's clear, deep. Like I say, pretty much like fishing two different lakes on the same body of water.
It is. So Josh has got, and it looks like a lengthy one here. Let's see. What line? I was going to mention that too. What line do you throw on your jigs? Do you do the braid leader thing or just straight fluoro or what? I'm working on improving my jig game, and is the reason for the questions since you're a jig guy.
Full size jigs. I throw Cigar and Vizex on both. Full size of 20-pound Vizex. Finesse jigs 15-pound Vizex.
Okay.
No braid, just straight fluoro.
What about you, Mr. Beckjordan? Do you take and you do any like braid backing or anything like that?
On spinning rods and stuff, I'll run braid and run a fluoro leader on it, but most of the time I just run a straight line, whatever I'm running on it.
That's a good question. Appreciate that, Josh. So this event, do y'all, I'm trying to think how I want to word this. Do y'all plan on putting in, well, how do y'all plan on, is there certain, I don't know if you want to even share this, maybe some, tactics to how you want to approach it for the first time? Maybe it could be helpful for anybody, for any given body of water.
I mean, every new body of water, I always get on Google Earth, start with historical imaging, check out the lake, see if I can find an image of it drained down, see if there's any defined contours or rock piles or anything you can see on there. And then time of year, if it's going to be springtime, you're going to usually tend to go a little shallower, and summertime, you can try to look deeper into the lake and ride around, look for brush piles, rock points, check it out.
So Jason Brown's got another question, which kind of goes right in line with what we talk about. Do you guys pre-fish for your tournaments? And if not, how do you prepare for tournaments? So obviously Google Earth was one of those, but say for example, one of your tournaments that y'all normally fish, how do y'all pre-fish or what?
I usually try to pre-fish all tournaments. If I can't make one, I mean, your only option, go off past history. If you're not pre-fishing it, you don't have past history on the lake. Somebody does. Look around on Facebook, find somebody that's posted pictures of the lake with fish, call them up, send them a message. I mean, you'd be surprised how many, fishermen. It's a good community. I mean, there's been quite a few guys I've reached out to going to lakes. I didn't start the Jon boat fishing all these lakes till 2019. So the last 3 years, we fished a lot of lakes I've never even seen before, and got on different clubs and seen lakes that they go to and message guys on different clubs and like, hey, we got a tournament coming up this lake. You got any advice? And I've had quite a few of them. Yeah, man, if I was going this time of year, this is what I would check. This is what I would try. Always looking around, figure out something.
Yeah, hard labor was one of them this year.
Yeah.
I'm sitting here, my mute was mic'd the whole time, and I was sitting there asking. So what about you, Mr. Beckjordan? Do you have, I didn't ask this in the beginning, but do you have a boat that you also fish with as well?
Yeah, I've actually got an electric boat, and I've got a big bass boat.
So let's hear a little bit about your electric boat setup.
It's a 16-foot Sebring old bass boat, but it's got a 101-pound thrust Minn Kota on the front, and it's got I guess it's a 5-horse electric outboard on the back.
Yeah. You got Panoptics on it?
No, it's got a Helix on the front, and it's got an old 999 on the back.
If you don't mind me asking, what gen series is the Helix? Do you know?
It's Generation 2.
Gen 2. I'm Gen 1 user, so I'm one of the originals. So do you take, and the reason why I was asking that, I assume you obviously, if Mr. Diamond can't get out there, you go out and do some pre-fishing as well?
Yeah, we've bumped rails a few times fishing lakes.
Have y'all ever took the approach where you go both out at the same time with different boats to kind of find stuff?
Not really. Usually we'll go together when we pre-fish, or either I'll go or he'll go. It just depends.
Gotcha. So Mr. Ben has asked a question. What is do you have a plan for fishing the heavy tall grass that you will find all over Juliet? And I don't know if y'all knew that or not. Did y'all know that?
Grass in Juliet.
So I will tell y'all this. The vegetation that used to be there, and I mean, I think it was back in 2011 was the last time that was the first and only time I've ever been on the lake. I'm not accustomed to the North Georgia lakes. We don't have the extreme vegetation. That lake down there is slap ate up, and I believe it's hydrilla, but slap ate up. So now that y'all know that, what would be y'all's plan for approaching it?
Hunt cuts through the grass. That's pretty much. I mean, look for low spots in the grass where you can fish on top.
I ain't never fished a lake with a heavy grass in it.
So some of the folks that's been on that lake fishing it probably can chime in and talk about it. But the time that I went, we fished it in October, and literally the lake was drawn down probably maybe 10 foot. And I mean, it's flat contours, pretty much all the banks are kind of like hard labor, but hard labor does have a lot of shoreline that does drop more vertical. But down there at Juliet, and there may be some areas too that do drop more consistently, but for the mass majority of it, you'll see just mats of grass when we was there that 20 foot in width or wider, depending on the depth contours coming out. you couldn't approach your boat even going through it. So it's thick, and that's what Mr. Boone was talking about. If you look hard enough, you might find some vegetation to fish there. So just get ready. There is a lot.
I guess being in April, I guess it won't have an opportunity to get too thick because a lot of grass dies off in the wintertime.
Yes.
So it depends. I guess it depends on how much dies off and how much fresh grass is growing by April.
That cold weather got down there pretty good this last couple of times too.
You're exactly right. And then kind of like what you were saying, Mr. Beckjordan, about, you follow the way that it's managed, and, who's to say the state may be doing the same thing or had done the same thing since 2011, trying to manage the vegetation a little bit better. So y'all definitely got a curve right there you didn't know. So you learned something from the show, didn't you, tonight?
Yeah, sure did.
Jeff Reese, y'all know Jeff Reese, president, Xtreme Jon Boat. James has 2 sons that fishes the club as well. It must be rewarding to be part of that and to watch them compete in the high school tournaments. I didn't know that, Mr. Beckjordan.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, my youngest boy and my oldest boy fished together this year in it. But my oldest one ended up going to work for the fire department in Carroll County, so it kind of messed up their fishing days.
I've actually, you know what? I think I remember seeing some pictures from like results of weigh-in and stuff like that. So that is awesome. Especially getting the youth involved, man. That's near and dear to me, to seeing the youth anglers coming up in Jon Boat, because without the youth, it's honestly, it's a dying sport if we don't keep the generation going. So
yeah, my youngest one, him and his buddy, that's all they do is eat, breathe, and sleep fishing.
Hey, that's better than most teenagers now, right? Getting on their phone and texting left and right and staying on social media all the time. So that's awesome.
Them two spend all summer together. They drag a Jon Boat around behind a razor and take it to different ponds around at neighbors' houses and stuff. And that's all they do all summer.
Oh, man. You brought back a lot of memories right there that I thought back to. So appreciate all the comments tonight. I'm going to just kind of concluding this show. If you've got questions or comments you want to ask, giving a couple moments here to kind of reflect. If y'all want to, go ahead and shoot it to us before we conclude the show. But Dusty, I don't mean to take and put you on the spot, brother, but I hope I get to see that handshake, the way that you can do it, man. Like, it goes back to that video from the TEC where y'all won it, and you're sitting there in the truck, and I wished I'd have hit record button in the beginning, because 2 minutes went by and that hand kind of calmed down from what it was. But in the beginning, you was a shaking, man.
Well, in the beginning, there were still like 6 boats to go. I think when you finally video, there's only 2 boats to go.
Oh, man.
And then last year, you made us go second.
That didn't get in your head at all, did it?
No, that was way easier.
Oh, man. So Alen Garmon, I'm assuming, how many did y'all have this season? I'm assuming you might be talking about through Xtreme. I don't know necessarily, Mr. Garmon, if you want to elaborate maybe a little bit more into that. I don't. If he is talking about that, maybe it's members wise. If y'all, I didn't fish through with y'all, so I don't really know the question he's asking.
Mm-hmm. Alan's fished a couple times with us last year,
so he would probably know. So I don't know necessarily your question there with it, or maybe he's talking about the TEC itself as far as how many do we have in it. So if it is the TEC, there's 9 clubs representing 72 total anglers, team tournament trail. So it'll be top 4 teams from each of the 9 clubs that'll be participating in the TEC this year. So, and we've already had some approaches, and we'll be possibly, depending on all the directors, adding additional clubs as well into this event. So, okay. He was meaning club wins. How many club wins? He couldn't remember them all. So it must have been a lot.
No, we only had 3 last year.
Yeah, we had 3. We had a lot of top 5 finishes. through the season.
We had 4 seconds
Yeah.
and 3 wins. I think is what we had.
That's awesome. How many events total for the year through with Xtreme? I can't
10.
remember.
10, I think.
10 events. That's cool. Do y'all fish? Okay. Do y'all fish
11
night tournaments?
Bass-TEC.
I don't know if you heard me. Do y'all fish night tournaments?
We fished one.
We fished one last year.
West
I
Point.
never do it again.
Never.
Never.
It's just
I'm not a night fisherman.
How come?
Oh, I didn't enjoy it. We were probably because we were at West Point and it was 101 when we put our boats in the water.
Night fishing can be fun though, man. Like you get, and I'm just going to speak on behalf of our club. You know, maybe it's just all of us older men in our SWAT club just out there in the heat, sweating it all day. Man, we've got where we end our season early and we fish.
Our night tournament was the hottest tournament of the year.
Yeah.
I sweat more in that tournament than I did any other tournament this last year.
Imagine it during the daytime though.
We started at what, 5?
Yeah.
5 or 6?
It felt like it got hot. It got muggier
I mean,
at
it
night,
was.
that night.
I think it was really like mid 90s when we put our boats in the water that day. It was miserable.
I got you. So I assume that's something. Is that something between y'all inside?
He's saying the night tournaments, he rather sleep at night.
I got you. I ain't processing on all cylinders. Hardly do. So, let's see. There's one more here. Alan did say, reflecting the same of y'all, it was very miserable fishing that night tournament. So, we've had a couple that way too as well. I mean, if it gets dead still, it gets kind of difficult. I understand.
I'm sure the right lake, right time of year, probably pretty fun.
Yep. There's a couple lakes out there that fish good at night. There's a couple. It's fun. So, man, again, appreciate y'all taking time out of y'all's night and sit down, representing Xtreme Jon Boat Club through with points champions for the year, and going to be representing the 2022 Georgia Bass-TEC at Lake Juliet, April the 23rd. So we greatly appreciate y'all, man, sitting down tonight. Congratulations again. And I really hope y'all come through in a mighty big way and, learn something from the lake and be able to bring in a big old mega bag like you did last time again.
That'd be nice.
So Alan was saying big shout out to you guys. So I'm just kind of stalling for just a quick moment. Any last questions? I assume not. Again, appreciate our sponsors through with our Hooked Up Live interviews that we do with the points champions representing the state of Georgia Bass-TEC for the Total Electric Championship. It's Jon Boat Series. We fish all these small reservoir lakes around. We appreciate each and every one of you who's watching. And get ready. We'll be doing another live here very, very soon, lining them up. So, men, thank y'all for coming on tonight.
Appreciate it. Thanks for having us on.
All righty. So that's it. It's our Hooked Up Live show. We appreciate y'all, each and every one. Like I said in the beginning and throughout the feed, all you have to do is get over to our YouTube channel and after this live feed to be entered in for a drawing for the lithium battery that's going to be free and given away. All you have to do is get over there, type it in Underground Power or UP, and like the video. Please share it, get it out there, spread the word around to people. All you have to do is just leave us a comment in the YouTube channel through Georgia Bass-TEC. So we appreciate each and every one of you. Appreciate every one of our sponsors. We'll be giving away some packages as well. So make sure, like us, leave us a comment, and we'll take and enter you in for a drawing. And that's a wrap, folks. We'll see y'all coming up very, very soon. God bless.